This is News 3 Now at 5.
A morning of mourning in Madison. 2 days after she was shot in the head, police say 11-year-old Anissa Scott has died.
Anissa's friends and family describe her as a happy, smart girl and a good friend. She was riding in a car that detectives believe was targeted, the intended target, the driver, not the little girl. Anissa becomes the 10th person killed by homicide in Madison this year.
Friends and family honored Anissa today with a balloon launch at Brittingham Park.
Our Jamie Perez is there now, and she shows us what it was like at a very specific time earlier today. Jamie?
Well, obviously, earlier today, it was a very emotional gathering with friends and family as they all gathered here a little bit earlier to say a few words about Anissa before doing a balloon launch in her honor. Now, they did that balloon launch about 11:11 this morning, just as she was taken off life support. Lots of praying, hugs, and tears shed among everybody today, many of them wondering why this had to happen.
How is a mother going to tell her sister that she's never going to see her again when she's telling her father, oh, my sister will be home in 2 days and we're going to play all day. Now she's never going to see her sister again until she see her laying in a casket. That is not fair. That is not fair to us as a community. That is definitely not fair to her family and friends.
And as police continue their investigation, trying to find out who did this, many of the people who came out today to this balloon launch are pleading with the public to please come forward with any information you have. Police do not have any leads right now, so any information that you as the public can come forward with is critical in bringing justice to Anissa and her family.
It certainly is, Jamie. Thank you. Anissa's basketball team is remembering her following her death. According to a Facebook post by the Sun Prairie Youth Basketball Association, it says they are thinking of Anissa and her family during this incredibly difficult time. Coach Jen Ray says Anissa is a bright and energetic girl with such a love for life. She was a dedicated friend who stood up for her friends. The Sun Prairie School District is offering resources for students in the Horizon and Prairie View families.
The mayor of Madison addressed growing gun violence in the city as part of a speech she gave today.
Amy Reed is live downtown to explain what the mayor says the city is doing about it. Amy?
This speech addressed the major issues our community is going through right now. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway talked about economic shortfalls, systemic racism, and police reform, and of course, the coronavirus. Our city is facing multi-million-dollar budget shortfalls, but the mayor said through this period of rebuilding, we can rebuild a more equitable city. And she did address the rising gun violence, too.
This is not just a Madison problem. Gun violence is on the rise in cities and towns nationwide. And gun violence in Madison is not confined to or rooted in any one neighborhood or community. It affects the entire city.
Any kind of gunplay is unacceptable, and it's just made more real and more heartbreaking when it impacts a bystander and when it impacts an 11-year-old little girl.
That's the governor after we asked him about this today. He said he'd like to see the state take on gun safety legislation. He said Republicans did not want to talk last year, but he hopes they do this year. In the city of Madison, Rhodes Conway said she and the Common Council are looking to address the underlying issues they feel are behind people resorting to violence. She said those are things like affordable housing, access to health care, and addressing inequalities among communities in our city.
Amy Reed, live downtown. Amy, thank you. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi issued the following statement following the shooting of Anissa Scott, saying we must condemn this violent act and work to bring the perpetrator of this crime to justice, while at the same time continue to focus our efforts on addressing the root causes and conditions that contribute to the unprecedented violence we have witnessed throughout the summer.
Well, another sunny day across southern Wisconsin, but we could have some showers later this weekend. Let's check in with your first warned forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Take it away, Gary.
Well, Mark, tomorrow should be another nice day. I think the best chances for rain will be on Saturday, and even there, they're still kind of iffy. As we look at visible cloud track, you can see plenty of sunshine across Wisconsin. There have been a little more cloud cover up in the northern portion of the state, but for the most part, southern Wisconsin has seen the most amount of sun. And you can see on Doppler track, nothing really going on precipitation-wise, or a few thunderstorms in northern Wisconsin earlier today, but those have since dissipated. Looking for a dry day tomorrow. Temperatures right now range range from the upper 70s to around 80 near Lake Michigan to the upper 80s to the west. La Crosse is at 89 right now, Boscobel at 86, Madison is at 82, and Janesville's at 84. Dew-point temperatures are in the lower 60s here, but again, they start rising a bit out to the west, so it'll become a little more humid as we head toward the weekend. But overnight, look for skies to become mostly clear. Low temperature will drop to around 60. Tomorrow will be a sunny and very warm day with a high of 85. Humidity levels still shouldn't be too bad, so it'll feel comfortable, but we'll also look for a prolonged period of dry weather for next week. I'll have more details on that in the forecast in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Gary. A teenager accused of a hate crime after attacking a black teen on the bus appeared in court today. Court records show 17-year-old D'Angelo Francisco stood mute, and the court entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. Police say video footage from the bus shows Francisco calling the victim a racial slur and punching and kicking him. Francisco is charged with 7 counts, including disorderly conduct with a hate crime modifier.
The Dane County Sheriff's Office is looking for an inmate who escaped from a minimum security building in Madison. Authorities are looking for 30-year-old Ricky Fedrick of Madison. He escaped from the Ferris Center on Rimrock Road around 8:15 this morning. Deputies say Fedrick is serving 2 consecutive sentences for battery. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call 911.
We're seeing a lot more COVID cases today compared to the past few days. State and county health officials recording almost 1,000 new cases in the past 24 hours. That is about 400 more than yesterday. To date, there have been 63,438 confirmed cases throughout Wisconsin, including 1,023 deaths. According to DHS officials, roughly 14% of those cases remain active. The positive percentage of new COVID-19 tests increased by more than 2.5 percentage points today, according to the State Department of Health Services. Out of the 12,415 people tested since Wednesday, 7.6% of those tests came back positive.
The coronavirus pandemic is consistently taking more lives per day than any time since May. Johns Hopkins University recorded nearly 1,500 COVID-related deaths in the U.S. yesterday. The pandemic is now blamed for killing more than 166,000 Americans. Nearly 1/3 of all confirmed U.S. cases are in just 3 states: California, Texas, and Florida.
After 66 days in the hospital battling COVID-19, a Lake Mills woman is going home today. Susan Slauson was admitted to Unity Point Health Meriter on June 8th, and today she was released from the hospital and received an honor walk to celebrate being discharged. While in the hospital, she spent time on a ventilator in the ICU. Susan joins more than 130 patients who have been discharged from Meriter after beating COVID-19.
A new jobs report shows first-time jobless claims fell below 1 million for the first time since March. The Labor Department said today 963,000 Americans filed for first-time unemployment benefits last week. That's the lowest number of weekly initial claims since the pandemic shut down the U.S. economy. However, the continued jobless claims number, which counts people who have filed for unemployment benefits at least 2 weeks in a row, remains high at 15.5 million.
Despite the number of people signing up for jobless benefits, the pressure remains on congressional leaders and the White House to reach a deal on a new coronavirus relief package. President Trump is blaming Democrats for the impasse. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says Democrats are willing to compromise.
We said we go up $1 trillion and that we could meet in the middle. When they're ready to do that, we'll sit down.
They're still rejecting any more relief for anyone unless they get a flood of demands with no relationship to COVID-19.
Democrats want to keep additional federal unemployment benefits at $600 a week. The White House is still trying to bypass Congress with an executive action on unemployment payments, but it's unclear how long the plan would take to implement or if it could face legal challenges.
The largest private employer in the Madison area is fully backing off plans to bring nearly all employees back to its campus by September 21st. In an email sent to employees, Epic System founder and CEO Judy Faulkner informed her team anyone who wants to work from home can continue to do so through the end of the year. Epic initially told its 9,000 employees in early August it was requiring them to return to in-person work by the fall. Many Epic employees pushed back against the initial plan. Sunday, the company announced it was still moving forward with a phased approach to have staff return to campus, but was no longer making its plan mandatory. Faulkner said, "We appreciate the constructive feedback from many of you. We believe that in-person collaboration is important, and we look forward to a time when we can all be together again in person."
The newly minted Democratic presidential ticket is focusing its case against President Trump on his coronavirus response, while the president continues to target mail-in voting. In a phone interview with Fox Business, President Trump said he will not give in to Democrats' demands to give more money to the post office. Democratic challenger Joe Biden accuses the president of trying to sabotage the election.
They want $25 billion for the post office. Now, they need that money in order to have the post office work so it can take all of these millions and millions of ballots.
Pure Trump.
Okay, guys, let's go. Let's go. Fun.
He doesn't want an election.
CBS News has learned that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will deliver their convention speeches next week from Biden's hometown of Wilmington, Delaware. Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, Attorney General Josh Kaul, along with Olympic medalist figure skater Michelle Kwan, hosted a virtual kickoff event for Wisconsin Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders for Joe Biden. Earlier this week, Biden selected Senator Harris as his running mate. Harris is the first black and AAPI woman to be selected as a vice presidential nominee.
Well, there's more to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, video from California shows a wildfire burning out of control. We'll have the latest. And coming up tonight at 6, the majority of Janesville teachers are against plans for in-person learning. We'll hear their thoughts at 6. And on Wall Street, the Dow Industrials fell 80 points. The NASDAQ, though, gained 30. The S&P 500 was down almost 7. We'll be right back.
Rest comfortably with brands you can trust at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Create a unique and stylish room with made-in-the-USA products from companies like Smith Brothers of Bern. Select from a wide variety of sofas at a great price.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Oh my gosh, wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. So celebrate this Labor Day knowing you look your best with Plexiderm. Lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video that the viewers can watch while you and I talk. And you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. And I did this to my father. We were at home and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is wholly words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It feels great. Looks even better.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. Plexiderm, seriously, it fixes all that. It makes you feel as good outside as you do inside. Honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there, like the bags are gone.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing or just when you want to like get rid of the bags? And
yeah, it absolutely could be a daily thing. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
And this Labor Day is the best time to try Plexiderm for $14.95. See it work for yourself after your first application. Just visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC help you find your inspiration and transform your room. Every style, every budget, our creativity, passion, and expertise will help you design your dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Tonight at 6, the YMCA is launching a child care program for students learning virtually in our area. And the majority of Janesville teachers are against plans for in-person learning. We'll hear their thoughts at 6.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Spotlight to the Middle East today with a surprise announcement of a major peace deal between Israel and one of its Arab neighbors. Israel and the United Arab Emirates say they are establishing full diplomatic relations in a U.S. brokered deal that required Israel to halt its contentious plan to annex occupied West Bank land sought by the Palestinians. The agreement makes the UAE the third Arab country after Egypt and Jordan to have full diplomatic ties with Israel.
A U.S. diplomat says the FBI will be joining Lebanese and other international investigators in the probe of the August 4th explosion at Beirut's port that killed more than 170 people, injuring thousands, and caused widespread destruction. It's still unknown what caused the fire responsible for igniting nearly 3,000 tons of ammonium nitrate that were stored for years in Beirut's port. But documents have emerged that show the country's top leadership and security officials were aware of the stockpile.
A Salt Lake City police officer is suspended after ordering a police dog to attack a black man during an arrest. Newly released police body cam video shows an officer ordering a dog to hit or bite Jeffrey Ryans even after he is handcuffed and on his stomach. Police say they were responding to a call that Ryans was fighting with his wife, who had a protective order against him. But Ryan says that order was about to be lifted and he had been living at home with his wife for weeks. Deputy Police Chief Jeff Kendrick explained why the canine was there.
Domestic violence calls are some of the most dangerous calls that we respond to. So, officers, use extra precautions when they respond to someone's home.
As soon as I got on the ground, I hear the canine, and he just started tearing up my leg. I'm not running or anything, I'm cooperating. I'm like, why are you doing this?
Ryan says he lost his job, he had to endure multiple surgeries, and doctors tell him amputation is still a possibility. The mayor says use of canines has been suspended pending a full investigation.
A fast-moving wildfire in Southern California has expanded to nearly 10,000 acres in just a few hours with little to no containment. The so-called lake fire began its march across the hills of the Angels National Forest, fueled by gusty winds and extremely dry heat with temperatures in the mid-90s. More than 500 firefighters were deployed to battle the blaze. Officials said people in roughly 100 homes were asked to evacuate. One fire battalion chief said up to 8 structures may have been damaged by the flames so far. Let's get a look now at your first warned weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canelti has your forecast. Gary?
Well, fortunately, the weather's pretty quiet around here, although it is pretty dry. We could use some rain, and there's not going to be a lot in the forecast over the next week to 10 days. In fact, 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for sunny skies and very warm conditions tomorrow, but no rain expected. Humidity levels will be moderate, so it shouldn't feel too bad. There's a chance for some thunderstorms on Saturday, but the precipitation will be spotty. Some areas could pick up a ½ inch or a little bit more in some of the heavier thunderstorms. Other areas may pick up very little. And then we're back to dry weather, not only for Sunday, but for most of next week. I don't have any rain in the forecast from Sunday through Friday of next week, and then just a chance of a thunderstorm from later Friday night into Saturday of next weekend. Now, the Storm Prediction Center does actually have a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms Saturday afternoon and evening. Should we be able to pop up a few thunderstorms, it's possible they could produce some gusty winds and maybe a little hail. That'll most likely be in the afternoon. But the problem is that the cold front may come through a little bit more quickly. So the greater threat for thunderstorms in general will be across the far eastern parts of the state. Areas farther to the west may miss out on much of the rain. But again, we'll have to just keep an eye on the severe weather threat. Over the last 48 hours, temperatures have been very comfortable, generally in the 70s and low 80s by day. Nighttime low temperatures have been in the 50s. And notice the dew points staying in the 50s. A little bit of a bump there into the 60s for a bit. But over the next 48 hours, we'll see those dew point temperatures still mainly in the 60s. High temperatures temperatures will be back into the 80s, so not terribly humid, but then we'll see those the humidity drop even more as we head into next week. As we look at weather track, the jet stream, the main part of the jet stream, has dropped to the south of us for a little bit. So that is keeping most of the moisture locked up in the southeastern part of the country, the typical pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Out west, there are some thunderstorms right along the coast in California, but much of the southwestern part of the country is dry. This is kind of the monsoon season where sometimes you can see some showers and thunderstorms pop up in the afternoon and bring at least some small relief to the dry conditions out there. But we do have a warm front out to the west of us. There have been a couple of showers up in the northern part of the Midwest, but by and large, it's been pretty dry around here. And as we look at the current temperatures, Madison's at 82, a little cooler closer to Lake Michigan, Milwaukee at 79, but the farther to the west you go, you get up to 89 degrees in La Crosse, 86 in the Twin Cities, upper 80s to around 90 as you get into the eastern portions of the Dakotas. And notice the dew point temperatures, lower 60s here, 70s to the west of us, but it'll be just a quick shot of the more humid air as we head into the first part of the weekend, because we're going to dry out again on Sunday, and the temperatures will drop back down. Look at those high temperatures back into the mid-70s beginning on Monday through Wednesday of next week. So very comfortable conditions. It's just that we could use the moisture. So as we check out our forecast for tomorrow, look for a mostly sunny day. It'll be very warm, high temperature at 85. Heat index will be in the 85 to 90 degree range, so not terribly humid. But rainfall, again, mainly from late Saturday or from Saturday morning into late Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Some areas may pick up close to a half inch or a little bit more. Other areas may miss out altogether, especially areas farther to the west. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, you can see dry weather begins on Sunday and pretty much lasts through most of next week. Maybe a slight chance for a thunderstorm Friday night, Saturday a chance for some thunderstorms, and then dry weather for the following Sunday. And it looks like we could have a little longer spell of dry weather right after that. As we look at first horn traffic, we've had some issues on the Beltline, some slowdowns on the eastbound Beltline between John Nolan Drive and Monona Drive. Also, some slowdowns on I-3990 heading southbound into the construction zone around the interchange with the Beltline, construction there. So right now, travel times on the eastbound Beltline, 2 minutes longer than a trip on the westbound Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison, it's 27 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990 from the Beltline southward. It'll take you 16 minutes to Sauk City on US 12 from Middleton, and then from downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue, US 151. It's a 15-minute trip. That's your News 3 Now First Horn traffic.
Gary, thank you. Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, Big Ten football coaches are continuing to offer their proposals on how to restart the season in the spring. We'll tell you the latest plan ahead at 5.
News 3 Now First Horn weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Incredible savings during the big anniversary sale going on now at Slumberland. Deals galore throughout the store, from modern sofas and chairs to gorgeous beds and lots more. Top it off with totally free shipping. The big anniversary sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Save big money in your next project with 11% off everything right now at Menards. Protect your roof against algae stains with Pinnacle Pristine Architectural Shingles from Atlas, $21.59 per bundle after 11% off. Add a distinctive finishing touch to your home's exterior with Novik Dry Stack Stone Polymer Panel. They're wind resistant up to 160 miles per hour. $4.98 per square foot after 11% off. Stop waiting and start saving with 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
In a crisis, you're tested. As a nation, we've been tested before, and he has too. During the worst financial collapse in a generation, with our economy on the brink, Joe Biden led the Recovery Act that saved millions of jobs and restored the middle class. During the deadliest Ebola outbreak in history, he helped lead the response that beat back an epidemic and kept Americans safe. Now, we're being tested again. And Joe Biden knows the answer is not ignoring the crisis, bailing out big corporations, and dividing a nation in pain. It's working together to protect the workers who keep us strong, rebuild the middle class, pay people what they deserve, and give every American the path to a good-paying job, a quality education, and affordable health care. That's Joe Biden, tested and ready on day one.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Motorcycle riders love the open road.
And Geico loves helping riders get to where they're going. So to help even more, Geico is giving new and current customers a 15% credit on their motorcycle policies with the Geico Give Back. And because we're committed for the long haul, the credit lasts your full policy term. The Geico Give Back, helping riders focus on the road ahead.
The Dexcom tells me my numbers every 5 minutes, and it also tells me which way I'm going.
I can just look at my phone and see my numbers in real time.
It's like the easiest app in the world, and you don't have to prick your fingers at all. It's amazing.
You know, not having to prick my fingers anymore, wow, that's incredible. You know, I would have never dreamt that years ago.
The Dexcom gives me that knowledge, and it gives me control, gives me power to be who I want to be every day.
Incredible savings on Sealy mattresses during our big anniversary sale now at Slumberland. Get a Sealy Queen mattress as low as $99 or a luxurious Sealy Posturepedic for $9.99. Plus free shipping. The big anniversary sale at Slumberland.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Big Ten football coaches are continuing to offer their plans for how to restart the season in the spring after canceling the fall season earlier this week. According to ESPN, Purdue's head coach Jeff Brom, his proposal is to play 8 games. He pitched that the season should start February 27th and go through April 17th, and then begin a delayed 10-game fall season starting October of 2021 and ending December 11th. Yesterday, Ohio State football coach Ryan Day proposed an 8-game season that would start in January and be complete by mid to late April.
Dane County men and women in need are receiving thousands of new socks this year. Bombas donated over 60,000 socks to the River Food Pantry. The pantry is giving the socks to local nonprofit organizations that serve homeless, in need, and at-risk communities, including Friends of State Street Family, Hope's Home Ministries, and Porchlight, among others.
AMC announced it's reopening its theaters next week, and tickets will be just 15 cents on reopening day. The world's largest movie theater chain will reopen more than 100 of its cinemas in the U.S. next Thursday, and it expects to open 2/3 of its more than 600 U.S. theater locations, including the one in Madison, by September 3rd. To mark the company's 100th anniversary, tickets on opening day will be 15 cents, about what it cost to see a movie in the 1920s.
How the good old days. We'll have a final check of your first warn forecast when we come back.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC help you find your inspiration and transform your room. Every style, every budget, our creativity, passion, and expertise will help you design your dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
When a student falls behind, a good teacher helps them catch up. A bad president would tie their hands, like Joe Biden would. Even with hundreds of public schools closed indefinitely, Biden opposes emergency parental choice grants, preventing parents from choosing options like private tutoring or charter schools if their public school is closed. A lost year is unacceptable, but 4 under Biden, that's a lost generation. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Joe Biden says,
if you elect me, your taxes are going to be raised, not cut.
That means middle-class families, small businesses, and seniors pay higher taxes. It's the biggest tax increase in history.
Citizenship for 11 million undocumented folks.
That means 11 million illegal immigrants competing for American jobs, eligible for free health care, Social Security, and Medicare. America can't afford Joe Biden.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Great decision on your new windows. Buy one, get one won't last long.
Have you always been so passionate about windows?
Felco's buy one, get one free windows is totally rad. Felco's energy-efficient windows are a must in every home. So hurry, call now.
You could say that.
Buy one window, get one free, and get no interest for 1 year.
Buy one, get one free, and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Felco.
Get the refrigerator you've always wanted now at the Brothers Main Big Deal Refrigerator Sale.
Save big on the latest from GE. French doors, black stainless, and smart refrigerators, all with 0% financing up to 18 months. And you'll get our risk-free 30-day price satisfaction guarantee. We make it easy to be confident in your new refrigerator. It's the Big Big Deal Refrigerator Sale with more selection, more savings, and more big confidence only at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
You don't just wear jeans, you live and work in jeans, and you want them at prices you can afford. Right now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, all jeans are on sale, like $25 off women's Dickies Carpenter pants, just $19.99. Men's Levi's jeans are on sale, just $41.65. Men's Dickies Flex Tough Max Carpenter pants are only $37.99. Plus, don't miss our tool trade-in event to get special trade-in savings on select new tools.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Experience handcrafted and hand-finished furniture by genuine Amish craftsmen at Wanakee Furniture ETC, featuring hardwood made in the USA home furnishings by Simply Amish and other great brands you can trust.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, after the summer's deadliest day, the CDC director warns the fall could be the worst in history. What 95% of Americans need to do for that not to happen. Plus, ISIS fraudulently selling protective gear and making millions to fund the terrorist group. Tonight, how they got caught. And the remarkable last-second save. A police officer pulls a man off train tracks. What the hero officer is saying. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
It's a nice evening out there. Final check with Gary.
Well, a picture is worth 1,000 words. There's the live view from the WISC TV Skycam. Lots of sunshine out there. Temperatures are in the lower 80s here in Madison, mid-80s in a few other spots. Janesville is 84. La Crosse is as warm as 89. Dew point temperatures still generally in the lower to middle 60s. They are higher out to the west. Those will be a little more humid tomorrow. Look for a high of 85 for tomorrow with dry conditions. Chance of thunderstorms on Saturday, then dry weather pretty much for most of next week, with the next chance of thunderstorms holding off until late Friday night and Saturday of next week.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 6. Have a good evening.